right? The more you want something, the more importance you give something, the more you repel it away from you. Okay. Now, maybe you're feeling anxious right now. You're stressing about the job, the relationship, obsessing about why they haven't texted you back yet, worried about the job that you're trying to get. A lot of people, stress about some situation that they care so much about, and you're pouring so much into it, you're giving so much importance to it. What happens is the universe is receiving that energy from you that's coming from a place of fear. It's coming from a place of scarcity. And when we give more importance to a specific thing, we're basically saying, I need this to work out, to feel secure, to feel whole. And you're also telling the universe that you can't give that to yourself. Okay? Now, I'm not talking about not caring necessarily, not caring about the job, not caring about the relationship, but it's more so from a place of being outcome independent, right? I always say, I'm good either way, whether it works or it doesn't work out. Just knowing that if it's meant for you, it'll be, right? It's still being goal oriented. It's still being ambitious about going after and getting what you want, but just not pedestalizing anything, not putting any person on a pedestal, not putting the job on a pedestal, right? When you are forceful or more fixated on the desired outcome, like it has to happen, this relationship has to work out, I have to get this job, it's this. A lot of people, it's with their relationships and the money, the job, and it's coming from a place of fear. It's coming from a place of lack and from scarcity. But you have to just detach, you have to just say, hey, I'm good either way, whether it works out or not, and still showing up, giving it your all, still putting your best foot forward for the relationship, for the job, whatever it is in your life, still going after your goals, but not being so fixated on the outcome. That anxiety, that fear, that energy gets sent out into the universe, and you don't receive it back a lot of the times. And I know I've struggled with in the past where, I really wanted the job to work out. I really wanted the relationship to work out. I'll give you guys a quick example. So this year I started getting back out into the dating market, started putting myself back out there because I was so focused on my personal growth for a while. Before this year, I was actually celibate for about a year and a half because I was just trying to focus on my personal growth. I was sort of rebuilding myself, switching tracks of where I wanted to go in my life. And so I was protecting my energy after going through my red pill phase and having a rotation and all this kind of stuff. And this year, I was 33 at the beginning of the year. And I'm like, yes, I really want a relationship. I really want my person. I really want to attract that person into my life. And I was heavily, on the dating apps. I was trying to meet women out in person, going on dates. I was very active in trying to make it happen, right? And things just weren't working out. I mean, I was having decent connections, but I wanted something so much to work out because I really want that. And I felt like I really needed that. Of course, I have a nice life. I built up a nice life for myself. I've done a lot of work. I really wanted my person. It's not like I need someone, but there was a slight part of my ego that felt like I really, really want that, family and friends, getting married, settling down, and I turned 34 in June. Then I finally just let go. I let go and I said, you know what? I don't even really care. I'm just going to focus on my growth, on my career, making more money, on my physique, living my life and meeting women out in person. Maybe utilize the dating apps here and there sparingly, okay? But just showing up as my best self and not caring so much about the outcome. And then I started to meet more women. Ironically, it's crazy how that works, right? When you don't really care, when there's no hidden agenda, and you can let go of your ego and just say, hey, you know what? I can show up as my best self, but not be too forceful, not put so much energy into it, into the outcome. Like, I really hope this works out, you know? You just have to detach. So let's drill down into this a bit more, okay? Now, understanding what the law of detachment really means, and I've kind of already hit on this high level, but it's not about giving up, okay? It's about releasing control over the outcomes, right? Outcome independent. You are acting with intention in your life, but without clinging to the outcome. There's no desired outcome. It's not like I desire this outcome. No, you have to remove that. You have to remove whatever the outcome is or whatever results happen. You just have to let go. Attachment to something, a person, place, or thing, is fear and resistance. That's the energy that's put out into the universe and scarcity. Detachment equals trust and flow. Trust and flow and faith. Let me give you guys another example. So I've been in a corporate sales job now for several years, for about 4 years, as I'm doing YouTube and coaching business and everything else. And I've spent a lot of energy into trying to get into a new position, and everyone knows the job market's tough, especially if you're well qualified. Trying to find the right fit, it takes some time. It usually takes at least 3 months, and I've been diligently applying and interviewing left and right, countless hours and energy and effort put into it. And I recently got a new position. That's a great position, okay? But I had my final interview the other day, and I thought, I thought it went okay. I thought it went pretty good. I thought it went pretty good. And then I got the call later that day from the recruiter who said that I got the job, accepted the offer, and we're good to go. But prior to that, I was forcing so much. I was like, oh my gosh, I have to get this job. For example, I had applied to a position with Salesforce, and I went through the hiring process with Salesforce. I probably spent over 10 hours just, preparing for the panel interview because it's quite extensive. It's quite difficult. And I thought for sure when I had my final interview with them a couple months ago that I got the position easily, no problem. And I was surprised to find out that I didn't. And it's because I whatever will be, right? But I put so much into it. I poured so much into it. I was so fixated on the outcome. And I knew, yes, I have this 100%. There's not a shadow of a doubt that I'm not going to get this position. And I was so surprised to find out that I didn't, right? But that's just how life works. But this more recent situation, I just let go. I said, you know what? I have faith and trust in God's timing, not mine. And what's meant for you will be, and what's not, will not, right? That's all there is to it. Now, why is allowing things to be so powerful? Because we just have to allow things to be, right? When you let go of force, you stop blocking what you actually want. Let me say that again. When you stop forcing, you stop blocking what you actually want, right? And detachment shifts your energy from needy to grounded, which attracts better results in your life with the dating market, right? With the job market, everything. And you're able to create an inner peace because you're not living in constant expectation. Drop all the expectations for people. With the dating, with the job, everything. Let go of expectations and just allow everything to be. You also honoring yourself and your own self-worth, saying, I am enough. I'm showing up as I am. And if people can't appreciate that and don't see the value in that, then that's fine. But it's basically caring less. I don't care. They talk about the whole bad boy paradox and why the bad boy is always generally more attractive. Why they say that, what's the energy with the bad boy that's so attractive, right? Well, I talk about you have to maintain a little bit of an element of mystery, but the part that's relevant here for today's topic is because they that energy just doesn't really care. They do what they want when they want, and they're good either way. It's like a very detached, I'm good either way. And I know my self-worth. If someone can appreciate that, cool. If not, that's cool too. It's just very outcome independent. And it's from an abundance mindset, not scarcity, not fear. And that's very attractive to people. And so that's why that energy has always been more attractive. Okay. And if any of this is hitting you right now, I want you to drop a comment and let me know what part is resonating with you. I want to hear about it because I know that this can be very frustrating to deal with. One of the, toughest lessons in life that I've had to learn is to let go and trust the process, trust the journey. Whether it's love, loss, or betrayal, we fight to hold on and we fight to let go. And just let go and just let be what will be. Okay. Now, if you're really struggling with, being able to detach from the relationship, or, maybe you're just so frustrated with dating and maybe you really want your person, right? Now, I actually talked to a guy a few months back, and great guy, great job, great career, but he really, really, really wanted to have his person. He felt like he was really missing that. Of course, because a lot of us want that, right? And we had a coaching session together, and I basically told him this message here, this main principle message. You have to detach from the outcome. You have to be outcome independent. And women can feel that energy, or, if you're seeing guys, whatever, but people can feel that needy energy if you're dating. And it's not that maybe you are needy, but it's just an energetic thing. If you really, really want someone and you find yourself getting flaked on and ghosted on and you can't meet the person, you just have to let go and live your life. Put yourself in the right situations to receiving and meeting people, but you have to just let go. And that's what I told him. That's really the problem here is you have time, by the way, because if you're only 30, okay, you have plenty of time. You have plenty of time anyway. It doesn't matter how old you are, but you have to just let go of the outcome, okay? And if you need help with that to kind of overcome this, look, I put together a free 40-minute training if you're really struggling with this in the dating market, with confidence, with attracting beautiful women into your life, whatever it is, the link is in the description, free 40-minute training. Check it out. Let me know. But attachment holds you back because chasing, overthinking, obsessing, this is all like devil energy, like as a symbolic. It pushes what you want away. Chasing, overthinking, obsessing, right? It pushes what you want away. Just like if you're dating a girl and you're too forceful, it's over the top and it's too much and you're not just cool, calm, and collected living your life. Hey, I'm good either way. If you want to hang out, cool. If not, just whatever. Very detached, right? To an extent. It definitely tends to work out better. But attachment also holds you back because you lose your frame. You lose your masculine edge, you lose your masculine frame, and you lose your presence when you're too focused on controlling the outcome. That's what I keep saying about being outcome independent. Attachment creates suffering for you because reality never matches the perfect picture in your head. That's what you want. You have this perfect idea of how things are supposed to be. You play out the scenario of how it's supposed to work out, and it doesn't work out, and then you're disappointed, right? So it's having no expectations. This is the actionable steps. I want you to, number one, I want you to set clear intention and then release them. Set a clear intention and then release them. Write down what you want with your fitness goals, with your money goals, career, the relationship. Write down what you want. Visualize it once daily and then stop obsessing and let life just unfold naturally. Okay? Number two, practice surrender in small things. Well, what do I mean by that? So let's say you've got something going on. When the plans change, train yourself to say, it is what it is, let's flow. It is what it is, let's flow. Going out with someone, social event, whatever. It is what it is, let's just flow with it, okay? Start with the minor inconveniences like the text message, delayed text messaging, communication, somebody cancels on you, okay? Flakes. Traffic. Maybe you're late to something. Maybe someone cuts you off. Let it go. Let it flow. It is what it is. Life happens. Life moves on. Detach by focusing on the present. Okay. Use grounding techniques. Now, this is much easier said than done, but you can definitely do this. Breath work, cold shower, journaling, time in solitude. Okay? Breath work. Life-changing. Meditation. Journaling your thoughts. Journaling your thoughts right when you wake up. Fresh out of bed, clear mind. Just write your thoughts, whatever's on your mind. Being present in the now really helps with this, and also meditation. Okay? You can always ask, what can I do right now to move forward? Instead of worrying about it tomorrow. So, planning out your day, executing today, and just showing up as your best every single day. The fourth thing is shift from control to trust, right? Replace how will this happen, which is rooted in fear and anxiety and lack and scarcity, with I trust it will happen in the right way at the right time. It's trusting in the divine timing. Now, I started praying a couple years ago. I've never really been a big religious person, okay? But whatever your higher power is, the divine God, whatever you want to call it, I started praying and it's life-changing. Like I said, I did this recently. Look, I had so much stress with my last job that the company was a sinking ship. It was burning to the ground. I was just trying to hold on and not get fired. On top of building YouTube, starting a coaching business, on top of applying to jobs, okay, and interviewing, I had so much on my plate. On top of still trying to have a social life, on top of still trying to be healthy and everything that I had to do, it was so much on my plate. I prayed and I said, hey, you know what? Whatever's meant to be will be. Open the doors for me that you want and close the ones that you don't want. To God, higher power, whatever you want to call it, okay? Have faith, trust in the plan. Job after job, interview didn't work out. Didn't get the position. Just got one recently. The perfect position for me. Major upgrade. Why? Because I let go of the outcome. I prepared. I showed up as my best self. 4 or 5 round interviews. And then I just let go and said, hey, you know what? If it's meant for me, it'll happen. If it's not the right opportunity. But I'm not going to worry about the outcome. Because we saw how that worked out before with trying to date, with applying to jobs and trying to get a job locked in. Okay? Now, last thing here for you. Daily practice of non-attachment check-ins. Okay? At night, I want you to review moments during the day you felt attached or you felt like you were trying to control. Little scenarios, okay? And you can reframe it by, how could I have responded with detachment and being calm? That's why I think journaling in the morning is great and in the evening. So usually I don't journal in the evening unless I have a lot on my mind. I do a brain dump right beside my bed. I have a journal and if my mind is flooded with thoughts, I just brain dump everything on my mind before bed, put the journal away, and I can sleep much better. But generally, every single night in the evening, I go to the sauna, usually for 25 to 30 minutes at least 160 degrees. And I usually pray, meditate, do breath work, and it's all in solitude, complete quiet. And I just think. A portion of that time is breath work. A portion of that time is prayer. A portion of that time is, gratitude. It's asking for things I need help with, but more so from a place of like, thank you for doing this for me. Thank you for doing this for me. It's coming from a place of abundance, not fear and scarcity. When you're stressed about the job, when you're stressed about money, when you're stressed about this not working out, that's fear. But you can't put that energy out because, like I said, it's going to be pushed away. So I always do that in the evening because after a hectic day, after so much noise and a busy day and distractions and work, there's so much going on. So I usually do that solitude practice in the evening just to recenter myself and make sure that we did good today. And how can we improve moving forward? What do we need to adjust? Or how do we need to, adjust moving into the next day? Are we grounded? Are we leading with love? Are we leading with, authenticity? Are we leading with, being present and grounded? So anyway, that's all I got for you guys today, man. If you liked the video, drop a comment down below. Let me know what you're going through. And if you want that free 40-minute training, like I said, the link is in the description. If you need help leveling up in your life and you're really serious about making a change, click the link and subscribe to the channel. I'll catch you guys in the next one.